All right. Interesting day so far. Go ahead. I know you guys got questions.
What do you got up your sleeve? Who's your punter?
We're working through it. Andrew, and we've had a short list. We always have a short list in case we have an injury or anything happens. But Andrew and his staff are working through that right
Are there
now.
many guys out there?
There's a few. I mean, like I said, you always keep the short list, and they'll have me watch some tape a little bit later today just to kind of compare, guys and see what we think. And the punting's important, the holding's important, all that's important.
Do you have a tryout scheduled?
I don't think we'll do a tryout. I think it'll probably be a veteran guy, I would think.
Safe to say you'll go to the backup quarterback to hold at this point?
Well, if we sign a punter that has holding experience, we'd probably go with the punter who can hold, I would think. It just depends on who it is. I trust Case as a holder, but he doesn't have the experience a lot of these guys do. So, coming off, even if they're off the street, they've been a holder in their career. We'll get him in here, and hopefully, we'll work on it tomorrow and go from there.
If something would happen to Jamie in game, who would be your punter?
Oh, Chase. I mean, all these guys punted in high school or kicked in high school. They always back each other up.
How much is the holding, whether an issue that you're something to be concerned about going into Sunday as far as timing?
Yeah, I mean, that's always an issue. I mean, that's why we work so hard on it. I mean, we have, our punter on the load jugs every single day, well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, during the week, all through training camp. And, so the timing's important, the, handling bad snaps or in cold weather, windy weather, that type of thing. So you're hoping whoever we sign has that experience and maybe some cold and windy weather as well, so you never know.
Can you take us through 12 guys on the field after a timeout on their fake punt? What happened?
Yeah, so obviously I know Baltimore runs that. Usually run it 4th and 1. They run that fake punt. I was trying to be aggressive. I had 7 in the box and even had 2 returners deep, hoping they punted. It was a bad call on my part. But once they put the offense back on the field, the defense went on the field. So it was just a bad call. And if I would have had our defense stay out there, which I should have, they would have punted the ball. We would have got the ball back. So I felt pretty bad about that after the game. But once their offense went on the field, our defense went back on the field.
Why did you use 2 returners on that?
Because Sam is such a good directional punter, and if you've got, and we normally don't overplay him, but if you line him up, if we're on our left hash, he could kick it left or he'll hook it right. So it's hard for one guy to cover it, and the hang time's not always great. I mean, he does that on purpose. So we put 2 returners deep to neutralize that directional punting.
That was the only play you did? Was it?
Well, right, because they ran a fake, and I'm like, I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm not real bright, but I figured I'd learn my mistake, learn after 1 rep of a mistake. But we'll be better this weekend. That's again, I was being aggressive. That's who I am by nature. I just got to be smarter in certain situations.
Wasn't there an issue with Mack getting on the field for a punt and then Jamarcus, or for a kickoff?
It was
Jamarcus running on and off.
It was Mack. He was not in the game. We had a young man that was supposed to be at the right end, and he just didn't show up. And that's in 20 years in the NFL, that's never happened to me before. Now, guys have, we've had to grab guys before, and I tell these guys all the time, it's my responsibility to make sure we have 11 on the field, and that's part of my job. It is their responsibility if they're on the depth chart to show up. And if you don't show up or the moment's too big for you, then we got to move on. We got to find somebody else. And at the end of the day, that was just a hard lesson for that young man to learn. And then Jamarcus on the one, he wasn't told to go in. He just kind of went out there. He's a young player. He'll be better because of it. I had a good talk with him after the game. Good talk with him yesterday, in fact. Last night he was here late working on some stuff. So I think every rep you get, every opportunity you get to coach these guys to make them better, that's my job. But ultimately it's my responsibility to make sure we have 11 on the field, and that can't happen.
When you say don't show up, like he just didn't go out for the kickoff, like on purpose, or just forgot? Or
He forgot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I assume he's not in that role this week.
He would be. If he's up, he will be. Yep, sure. I mean, I like DeMarcus. I think he's a heck of a football player. He's got return ability. He's fast. He's strong. And again, every rep's new. Every rep's a new rep for these guys. And, I like him a lot. I think, if he's active this week, he'll play a lot.
Oh, I was thinking the person who didn't show up.
Oh, that one too? Yeah. Maybe. That'll be a surprise. Maybe nobody knows who it was. You're late. You want us to start over? No. Okay.
Hey, Mike, obviously, Jamie Gillen didn't have the season he wanted to, and they turned things around a little bit. You talked about it recently. How's he handling this latest setback?
Oh, he's very disappointed. I just texted him, make sure he was doing okay. He's feeling a little under the weather, I'm sure, but he's just more disappointed. He was really looking forward to this Sunday. You know, I thought he punted well the other night. He did some good things. The end of half punt, I know it wasn't a great punt, but that's on purpose. We don't want to give that return an opportunity with 9 seconds left. It's called an angle punt, and we angled it and bounced out of bounds. It was a perfect punt. It took 8 seconds off the clock, and they took a knee the next play. That's called an end of half punt. So he executed that well, kicked a couple other ones really well. So, you know, he's been inconsistent, but you know, we were hoping the last 5 games down the stretch here to help us make the playoffs that he would come through for us, and maybe he'll be back. So we got to see what happens.
So Hewlett's off COVID, but is this related? Was it
I don't know.
break in the
Yeah,
room,
I don't think so. I mean, I feel great.
What would you have done if Charlie weren't back?
We have a couple options. You know, Mac Wilson's taken a lot of reps for us. He was a backup snapper at Alabama, and he works every week, every Wednesday. In fact, he was out there yesterday doing it. So we have young tight ends. Johnny Stanton works there as well. We could elevate him if we needed to, or if it's during the game, you mean? Probably Mac.
But if it's, I mean, like say he hadn't come off the list yesterday.
Oh, then we would
Whatever
have
it-
signed
you
somebody.
would have signed somebody.
Sure, of course. It's the same thing like a punter. We're going to have a short list, and our personnel guys are on top of that.
How has Demetra come along as a returner for you?
He, you know, he's had some good games early. You know, he's the #1 job of a returner, as we've talked about a lot, is ball possession, and he's done a really nice job with that. You know, with every rep with him, he's going to get better. He's going to get more experience. You know, he didn't do it. He wasn't a punt returner in college. He was a kickoff returner. So, you know, using his skill set, is he quick like as quick as JoJo? No. But he's fast, he's strong, he can make people miss, and I think the more experience he's get, the better. The more experience he gets, the better he will be.
And then another guy, Anthony Schwartz, obviously out with a concussion.
Yeah.
How tough has it been for him? Just so many stops and starts, and you know, he hadn't returned kicks, I think you said, since high school. So how tough
Right.
had it been for him to kind of get into that rhythm?
You know, we worked hard on it. Once we drafted him, we had him out there. He's catching kicks, catching punts, and we knew we have a great. He's a good young man. He's got a great skill set, and we have to use that to help him, to help our football team win games. And you know, we'll continue using him in that role when he comes back. You got nothing?
I know we asked you about Chase every time he misses a kick. But missed another one the other day. Have you noticed any change in him?
No, I mean, I don't know if he pulled his head up too early. He didn't follow through towards his target. It wasn't even that windy. I mean, it was a nice night. It was a beautiful night. You know, he knows he can't miss that, and he came and hit the upright on the next one, but put it through, and then he hit the PAT really well. So it's like anything else, and he's still young. I mean, this is his really first full year as a starter, and I'm not making excuses for him, but he's got to continue to get better, continue to learn, and who he is, and I don't think he has any limitations. He's kicked off extremely well for us, so you know he has a good leg. He has to make those kicks for us. We have to make all those. That's one of our keys to victory this week, is make all our kicks. We don't beat a good team with that, like Baltimore, because they're not going to miss any, and we have to make all ours.
Does the prospective new punter have to check the boxes of outdoor kicker, played in this kind
That would be a benefit, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's what we look at. We'll compare all that stuff.
Did you watch Monday night's game by any chance?
I watched part of it. I just know it was really windy. It was fun to watch. I guess I get hit with the New England punter. Bailey's a good punter. Had a 15-yarder one way and then a 71-yarder the other way.